They were a young couple, and so they both inherited the property. And my father's siblings were raised in that home.
Okay.
And so since my father's the oldest of his 5 siblings, and they were much younger, so my mom took on the responsibility as helping him to raise his younger siblings.
I understand.
And so after her death, we have to go through some litigations and whatnot. But our plan is to
Keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family, definitely.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Tony, let me ask you this. Back in the day, and Mark, you can chip in on this in a minute. What did you do for fun? I heard there was...
Well, okay, before that, before we were the teenager years, we used to play outside.
Outside was...
Hollister Park.
Hollister Park.
Hollister Park,
With that one basketball rim at first, because they didn't have all them other basketball. It was just one little basketball.
It was one
Court.
One court.
One court.
Yes.
It was one court.
I remember
It was
that.
one court. And then there were multiple, there was swing set and there was a slide until, it breaks down, and then it came down to a swing and all that. And then we had the wheelbarrow.
Oh yes,
We
yes.
played
Well,
on-
they used to have they used to do the firefight
Firefighter.
competition, so we would turn that into a game.
We turned that and came in, yeah. It's a barrel. We played that.
Right there, right in the center of everything.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were focused right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Right there in the park. There's a
Okay.
basketball court. I learned to play tennis.
Yeah, tennis
there.
court. Yeah.
So I used to play alone. I don't think there was a kid that could beat me at tennis. So check this out. So I will never forget this. Donnie Walker. Who was married to Madeline Collin.
Okay.
Who was one of the teachers that came in from the HBCU Shaw University. He saw me playing tennis by myself and came over, and we used to go at it all the time.
Wow.
And he used to call me Arthur Hill, because Arthur Ashe was the tennis player at the time. And so, but we had fun. But even before we were old enough to go to the park, my father helped us to make a baseball diamond in our yard.
Yeah, we played stick ball. It was stick ball.
Right in the
Stick
yard.
ball.
We had stick ball.
And,
It was
and
stick
whatever
ball.
kind of ball we could hit.
Yeah.
Because we was breaking windows.
Yeah. We breaking windows up. We was breaking windows up in the house.
So that park wasn't like it was now. It wasn't anything there, basically.
No, it
was a baseball field, yeah.
Baseball field, softball field,
Okay.
because
yes,
they had
sir.
softball, one basketball court,
Yeah.
and a tennis court, and
Yeah.
then the swing set.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
But the swing, the playground area didn't look anything like it does.
Right.
And as you grew older, what was a thing that you did to go out of town? Was there any, because they were, back when I was coming up in 85, there was Johnny's, there was the college parties,
Yes.
there was the Alibi. That was in 85 when I was here and up. But before then,
How you getting the alibi?
I had a fake ID one time. Yes, I did. Back in the day, I used a fake ID one time.
Alibi is a college town.
All right.
That was the college town.
You remember that? Okay. Did you go, Mark? Was you?
So when Tony went to Ferris, that's when I got exposed to hanging out in the college as a high schooler.
You went to
So-
Ferris. You had a.
She played
degree.
basketball for Ferris. Yes.
Okay, so you played basketball. Did you have any kind of a?
Scholarship, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. What about what did you have?
And Tony's not going to brag on herself, but
Go ahead, I wanna hear
she
it.
was a freshman, probably the first freshman on varsity basketball for Baldwin High on the girls' basketball team.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Did
so
not
she
know
got
that.
a scholarship to Ferris State University. She's not going to brag on herself, but
Do you have some kind of plaque up in Baldwin to show you that Tony Hill was something? Do they have anything to keep?
The first freshman.
Yeah, because they got plaques on the board now, Mark.
I don't know about all that, but
Okay.
but there are plaques up there for
Your
like,
grade, your year.
Yeah, the year and us winning the district and the
regional.
regional.
The females.
Yeah, females and all that.
Never heard about
They
that.
was something
Interesting.
They was something else.
We was like, man, we was bad.
Did you have a college degree?
Pardon?
College degree of any sort? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
You also what kind of college?
I went to Western Michigan University.
Western
so
Michigan.
My bachelor's and my master's.
Bachelor's and a master's.
Yeah.
A bachelor's and a master's.
Yep.
Mine's is from Fair State. That's just from Fair State.
And you have a bachelor's for fair say. This is an educated family. Okay. We're in the family. I married into their family, but as you can see that there's so much history in Baldwin that we can get from the Hills. and we do it is the Heels mostly. There, would you any other name that somebody went away and got married maybe, or different name, or just basically the Heels? What about
Right.
the Brooks? The Brooks is just the whole family,
Brooks
right?
is the whole family. That's grandma, granddad,
All right.
and their 12 kids.
Okay.
And my mom is one of the 12 kids, and so my father is the Hill.
Okay.
And he had, there were 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was mostly, would you say, the mother that had a greater part in raising you than the dad?
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to contest that.
Okay.
Because, although Dad had a 5th grade education, I cannot, even when I went off to college, I don't remember a time when he did not make it to an event. I don't remember a time that he didn't make it to Tony's game at Ferris State. Because
Very supportive.
I would ride with him to Ferris until I got
Wonderful.
grown enough to drive on my own and sneak over to Ferris to a basketball game.
Okay.
But he was always at, whether it was a church event.
was there.
And I want to say it's because of our involvement in the church, he got involved in the church.
Good.
Because
That's
I can
good.
remember when he did not attend church.
Okay.
But when we were old enough, we started singing in the choir. I started playing the piano.
Yes.
I think it was his way of making sure that the church was taking care of his kids.
Wonderful.
So he got it, by any means necessary, he got involved in the church. And then he became a youth leader, started taking us to all the kids to the
Youth leader,
amusement
okay.
parks, and would travel with the van, inherited the van, and would take the youth choir, I was the musician, to other cities to sing, and to nursing homes. Yeah, he got very involved.
What was
to
the name
support
of
us.
that church What was the name of that church?
First
Baptist of Baldwin.
First Baptist
Okay,
of
which is
Baldwin.
now the Passover House Church.
Yes, yes,
Okay, so
yes.
that was the church right there
That's
that
right.
the whole family went through over the
Exactly,
years. Okay,
exactly.
until you left there. That was
That's
the
right,
church.
that's right,
Okay, well,
that's right.
well, one final question. One final question, and the question mainly is that Baldwin right now has changed so much. With support of the high school. And I don't know if Tony, when the last time you come back some years for the Try-to-Rammer. Okay, have you noticed the big difference? Because back then they supported. Would you say it was a good crowd? And when I came up here in '85, it was a support with the basketball team from then on. From when I came, was there a lot of support back then? Because it was full in the basketball team. Basketball was a sport. Football, I think, was second. But back when you saw it, was it in your support in your high school? Was it support like a lot?
It was, I can't explain it, because even football, those bleachers were full.
They were full.
They were full.
Wow, that's something.
Basketball, girls basketball,
Yes, girls
boys
basketball.
basketball,
Yes.
it was packed.
Women's too, and that was back. You're talking about back in the
Yes.
'80s
It
then,
was
because I didn't see that when I saw mostly the men.
Right, girls basketball
Girls
was just
too.
as packed as them.
Thank
Them
you.
girls were.
Yeah, really bad.
Ah,
I can't, because when I'm thinking about it,
yes,
like sometimes I just play.
yes.
But as you get older, you think about like, man, we was bad.
Yeah,
That's good, Mark.
Even
Yeah.
in softball, we was bad.
yes,
you
that's
remember
true.
all that?
I remember all of
Okay.
that.
Even track. We was
Track,
bad.
Track.
yes. And I think you mentioned the support. Everyone, first of all of the coaches, from Miss Kathy Price, Mr. Darrell
Yep, I
Price,
remember them.
Coach Cullen, Sahuba Barudi,
Yes.
Coach Harmon, Mr. Webster, Mr.
Okay.
Doty.
I remember all- yes.
You're thinking of all those coaches, they made sure that all students were involved with all athletes.
Okay.
Everyone tried to specialize these days, and so they're not cross-training
Yes.
to make themselves a stronger basketball player, a stronger football player, a stronger track runner, or a
Yes.
stronger softball, baseball player. But they were athletes, and they encouraged us
And they cared
to be
mostly,
an
yes.
athlete. And yes, they took care of us. They would take us home.
Okay.
They would be the last person standing until we got home
Wonderful.
or walked home.
Beautiful.
But they knew that we were getting home. So yeah, the support, the community came out. It was a different day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because each sport, whatever sport, it's prepare you for the next.
That's right.
sport.
That's right.
So cross country prepare you for.
That's right.
The basketball season.
That's right.
Okay.
Basketball season prepare you for the volleyball season.
Okay.
So for the football team, from football prepare you for the basketball season. each sport prepared you for the next sport. So they were athletes. They weren't specialized in certain sports. They were athletes.
And it kept you out of trouble when
Kept
you
us
did
out of
that.
trouble.
Okay. I want to say this while we're ending. I do believe that. I taught my kids participate in the sports. When I came from Chicago, they called me Touchdown Jennings because I did a lot of touchdowns and I was good in track. My head was big. And it kept me in school.
That's right.
And that's the most important thing that I imply to my kids.
And good grades.
And good grades. And I think, Mark, since you're a principal, it shows that you
all the
installed that in
research,
your
all the
kids.
research tells you when
Yes.
students are involved with athletics, especially during that season,
Wow.
their grades are better.
Yes,
So
yes.
you want to make a smart school or a smart community will want since the research is
Yes.
what it is, you want your students to go into each sport because then you can guarantee that they're going to be academically eligible, enhances their academic ability, period, which enhances their ability to move forward to college and scholarships.
Beautiful. I would be remiss for leaving this air without saying a good tribute to the mothers. Mother Lewis, Mother Penny, Sister Fisher. When I was in school, they sat in a group.
Yes,
and
they
they were yelling at those referees. They had a corner with the senior citizen, and they would be just beating on those referees. And that's what I remember about this family and our history and the motherly support. So God bless you, Brother Mark Hill and Sister Tony. You've been a beautiful help. Everybody in there is going to be watching this and to receive the history and the part that you took and played in helping the kids grow, and even still now. God bless you, and we'll see you again on the Gazebo Talk. God bless
Thank you. Deuces.